Did you know that Montgomery County, Texas has been the filming location of several different Hollywood films and television shows?
So it's become a pretty big deal.
Today on the Conroe Living Channel, where we identify and celebrate everything that makes the greater Montgomery County area one of the fastest growing areas in the nation, as well as one of the best places to live, we're going to check out this list of movies and television shows that have filmed here, as well as the Hollywood actors and actresses that have graced our borders with their talents.
Famous, successful people.
All right, we're coming in hot, starting strong. Back in 1968, the movie Hellfighters was filmed here. A story about a man with one of the most dangerous jobs in the world, capping oil well fires. It starred none other than the great John Wayne. Duke himself was here in the Montgomery County area, one of the greatest Hollywood actors of all time. Now, I gotta admit, it was not his best movie. I think it has a Rotten Tomato score of like 13. But come on, it's John Wayne. He's got an airport named after him. Pretty sure none of those critics have airports named after them, so, checkmate. Plus, it wasn't his worst movie of all time.
Your treacherous head is not safe on your shoulders.
Next on the list, back in 1995, we had the movie Powder filmed here, a story about a mysterious albino teenager who was rescued from a basement where he'd lived his whole life, and it turns out he had supernatural powers. Now, this one, again, was not the most critically acclaimed movie, but it was one of the biggest movies of 1995. It starred Sean Patrick Flannery, who's been in a ton of Hollywood movies, but is probably best known as Connor on the Boondock Saints. It also stars Jeff Goldblum, who we all know as the Apartments.com guy.
Apartments within apartments.
He's been in some other stuff too, Jurassic Park and Hunger Games, and he was the Wizard of Oz in the latest Academy Award-winning Wizard movie, but mostly he's the Apartments.com guy.
To a deluxe apartment in the sky.
We also have Mary Steenburgen, who you've seen in a lot of different Hollywood movies, but probably best known as the mom in Step Brothers, which could be argued, is it the best movie of all time?
Yup!
There have also been several movies that didn't necessarily have as wide of an audience, but you definitely know all of the actors who played in them. Movies like 2008's The Man Who Came Back. It's about a man who was framed for murder and he returns to take vengeance on his family's killers. It stars Sean Young, who's been in a ton of Hollywood blockbusters like Dune and Blade Runner, and of course probably her most important work, Ace Ventura: Pet Detective.
The license we're in!
It also stars Carol Alt, who has been in like most young men's dreams in the 1970s. I think she was like a supermodel or something like that. It has James Patrick Stewart, not to be confused with Patrick Stewart of Star Trek fame, although he was in Battlestar Galactica, so basically the same guy. It also stars Armand Assante, who is known for his work in Hollywood blockbusters like Hoffa, American Gangster, John Q, and Gotti. I don't want to start any rumors or anything, but I'm pretty sure he's in The Mob. But the main character is played by Billy Zane, who most people know as the villain Cal in the movie Titanic. Although, was he really the villain in the movie? Hear me out. The main character, Rose, right? She's engaged to Cal, but she meets a guy on a boat, ends up having an affair with him. She spends the last moments of her life reminiscing about this guy that she has only known for 2 days. She was married. She had kids and grandkids. She'd lived her whole life, decades, with another guy, yet she spends the last moments of her life with, thinking about this guy she's known for 2 days. She lets the expedition waste all this time and money looking for this priceless jewel at the bottom of the ocean when she had it the whole time. And at the end, she just throws it in the water. No big deal. Not like it's worth anything to her family or future generations. But of course, the biggest reason, there was room enough for 2 people on the door, but instead she let Jack stay in the water and freeze and drown. So at the very end, when he's already dead, she says, "I'll never let go, I'll never let go."
I will never let go, Jack.
And then immediately lets go and lets him sink to the bottom of the ocean. I submit to you, Rose, the real villain of Titanic. But anyway, Billy Zane is in this movie. In 2012, the movie Return to Vengeance was filmed here. The main character was played by Lorenzo Lamas. I feel like everyone at a certain age knows who Lorenzo Lamas is, but I couldn't for the life of me remember what he'd actually been in. So I went and looked it up. I Googled him. And did you know he was in Grease? No idea. He's that guy. He was also in Falcon Crest, which I was too young, didn't really know anything about that show. But his main role in the 90s, I think, was playing the lead character in Renegade. Another star of the movie is Daniel Baldwin, who would probably best be known for being one of the Baldwin brothers. I mean, he's been in stuff, but like in the hierarchy of Baldwin brothers, he'd probably be like Tito. But at least he's also not known for being someone who shot a co-star on set. So he's got that going for him. In 2016, the movie Divorce Texas Style was filmed here, which stars Daniel Baldwin, who you may know as the guy I just talked about a second ago. I don't really have anything else to say about him. Then there's the 2014 movie Sacrifice, which was also filmed here in Montgomery County. It stars Dermot Mulroney, who most people would know as the best friend in My Best Friend's Wedding opposite Julia Roberts. But since 2012, he's played the main character in Chicago Fire. It also stars Luke Kleintank, which many people would know from his television roles in The Man in the High Tower and Bones. He's currently on the FBI's Most Wanted, the TV show, not the list. Although I guess he'd be famous for that too. Most recently, just a couple of years ago, back in 2023, we had the movie Condor's Nest filmed here, which is a show based during World War II. It stars, and I guess he's not a household name because I'm not even sure I'm saying this right, but Arnold Vosloo. But you know who he is. He was the mummy in The Mummy, and he was also in all of the Darkman movies. It also stars Jorge Garcia or George Garcia. See, I'm not sure I'm saying that right either, but you know who he is. He was Hurley in Lost. Also stars Michael Turek, who you may know from films like the instant holiday classic Red One with The Rock that was came out a couple of years ago. He was also in The Walking Dead. He was in Ozark. He's also in the upcoming film starring Ben Affleck, The Accountant 2, the sequel to Accountant 1. Because, you know, the story about an accountant is too riveting to be contained in just one volume. Also has Bruce Davidson, who was in Black Beauty, The Crucible, Apt Pupil, and Titanic Part 2. Yeah, there's a Titanic Part 2. Did you know that? We actually have a clip. Check it out. Pretty sure it wasn't a very long movie. And finally, we have Michael Ironside, who you know. He's been in a ton of movies. He's been in like Top Gun, Total Recall, and of course his most important work in Highlander.
What's the Highlander?
It won the Academy Award.
Oh, for what?
For best movie ever made.
As well as major movies, you also have television shows that have been filmed out here, like the limited, critically acclaimed series Rough Riders, about Teddy Roosevelt and the Rough Riders. It starred Tom Berenger, who we know from movies like Platoon and Major League and Sniper 1 and Sniper 2 and Sniper 3 and Sniper Ultimate Kill and Sniper 7 and Sniper Assassin's End and Sniper Legacy. I think they're just trying to battle it out with the Fast and the Furious to see who can make the most movies in a franchise. It also has Chris Noth, who most people would know as Mr. Big from the show Sex and the City. It's got Sam Elliott, so you know it was a good show. Come on, Sam Elliott, Roadhouse, Tombstone, The Big Lebowski, and of course his most important work, the voice for the Coors commercials.
And that's what having a backbone is all about.
It also has Gary Busey, who, do I even need to mention what he's been in other than probably Rehab? But he's also been in a ton of Hollywood movies. Here's something I just learned. The television show Young Sheldon, the story about the upbringing of Sheldon, the guy in The Big Bang Theory, wasn't filmed here, but is actually, the story is based here. Like, he grew up in Montgomery County in the TV show. Jim Parsons, who plays the grown-up Sheldon, or the grown-up-ish Sheldon, I guess.
Bazinga.
Actually grew up around here. He's a Houston native, a North Houston native. He went to U of H. He calls Houston home. He talks about it a lot. So he probably had something to do with where this fictitious show was supposed to be based out of, here in Montgomery County. So is Montgomery County the next Hollywood? Yeah, probably not. But we have had brushes with stardom, people who have been in unforgettable hits that we all know as household names. People who have given us such great performances as...
You want that gun? Pick it up. I wish you would.
And...
That's still going good on those, you with.
And of course...
Talk about buttered sausage, where it comes from, what it does. Why is it doing what it's doing? Get it out of my face.
This is just one of the many things you can learn about Montgomery County by subscribing to the Conroe Living Channel. I'm Jeff, local realtor with Jeff West Properties and your host. And on this channel, we focus on everything that makes up the DNA of this amazing community. Want to know more about the area right now? Check this video out.